What's going on today, YouTube? Today we got another NFL video. Today we are doing the Dallas Cowboys record and season predictions. I guess you could say. Normally I say schedule predictions instead of record, but decided to switch it up today. As you can see, I have them in the number 9 seed, going 9-8 and 4-2 in the division. I think the Eagles are a better team, so losing the division I don't think is very far of a stretch. If things go their way and injuries plague the Eagles, or the Cowboys go on a stretch that I think they could possibly, I don't think it might happen. I don't really think it is going to happen. Um, but I have them finishing 9 seed. They're tied with the Saints and Vikings for records. So and the Cardinals. So one of those teams could have one more win, and then all of a sudden the playoff bracket looks different. Talk about their team. I have. Where should I start? Um, let's start with Dak. I don't think Dak is that good of a quarterback. If I'm being honest, I've never really been high on Dak. His rookie year was great, but Zeke Elliott was also outstanding. It hasn't been the same since, as well as Dak Prescott not being the same. I think that Dak Prescott just has a very low ceiling. I think he's more compared to like a Kirk Cousins that doesn't have a great ceiling but can be consistent, rather than people comparing him to like Josh Allen I've seen, or being as quick on his feet, maybe before his ankle injury. I'm not sure about now, but before his ankle injury, to like Kyler, or having accuracy like Matt Stafford. And that's just not, I don't see it like that. Like, I think Dak Prescott can win games, but I don't think Dak Prescott can win games by himself. Like, can't put his team on his back and win the game for them. I don't know why. It's like I've always had a hard on for Dak Prescott, and it's just I've never been able to get over it. But I just don't think he's that good of a quarterback. Now, could Dak Prescott take a step forward and be the quarterback that can carry his team? Yeah, that's very possible. That's not a far stretch. He has the intangibles. He's big. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. I don't think he has the intangibles. I don't think he has the arm of Matt Stafford, or the legs of like a Kyler Murray or Josh Allen, or the mind of a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's got any type of a ceiling like that. I don't think he plays one or does one thing super good that sets him away from everybody else. Oh, my iPad went dead. Let's go to Zeke. Zeke is, from reports that I've seen, is not having a very good camp. Tony Pollard is being the guy, but Jerry Jones came out and said that Zeke has to be the bell cow essentially, because they paid him so much, because they didn't think they could win with any way else when they paid him like a $90 million contract when the market was set at like 60 million for running backs, and is now exceeded that, even with Christian McCaffrey getting a huge extension. So it's just never a good idea to pay running backs. Like, I'll even say it about DeAndre Swift for the Lions when his contract comes up. If he wants like 15 mil a year to continue playing for the Lions franchise, let him walk. He's not that important, and I think DeAndre Swift this year has a very good chance of being a top 5 running back if he can stay healthy. And if he does have that kind of year, a top 5 running back year, I don't think Lions should pay him $15 million. I don't. I really don't. Running back is one of the most replaceable positions in the NFL, with the lowest like time of prime shelf life, and it's not needed to spend a whole bunch of money like the Panthers with spending it on Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was like the only reason the Panthers would win games. Like, he was their superstar and the only superstar on that team. So I can understand why they paid him. But now look at them now, or now look at them now. Geez, OP. They got people that they got to pay. They're gonna have to pay Brian Burns. They're gonna have to pay Baker Mayfield this year if he goes off. They got to pay DJ Moore. They're gonna have to pay people on that team that they're not gonna have the money for, because Christian McCaffrey is getting paid so much to be an injury-prone running back that hasn't produced in 2 years. Moving on to into the wide receiver room is just a mess. I think the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver room a year ago was so good, and now it's a mess. You lost Amari, you lost Michael Gallup, You have CeeDee Lamb, who can be a certified wide receiver one if he takes that step this year. I think he could. He has the speed, the intangibles, the hands. So I think CeeDee Lamb is really good. But after that, especially after the training camp injuries, who do you have after him? And I couldn't even tell you right now because I'm blanking. But there's a wide receiver that's going off that can tread water for you, but you don't have Mark Cooper like at all. Like he's not on the team anymore. I'm pretty sure Michael Gallup went somewhere else. He might just be injured though. I can't remember. He might have got a contract actually. So, but then I'm pretty sure I know Michael Gallup's hurt. So you're stuck with CeeDee Lamb and then a bunch of people that are nobodies. Going to Micah Parsons. I was wrong. Last year or no. Yeah, last year I didn't want the Lions to take him when they took Penei Sewell. Yeah, I didn't want the Lions to take Micah Parsons. I didn't think he was going to be this good. I didn't think he was going to be this good in his rookie year or maybe even beyond that. He just didn't look like he had the intangibles to be an actual linebacker. I thought he was going to be more of a D end, and that's what he's done in the NFL. But he's played linebacker at a very high ceiling as well. He's a player that you miss on, and I missed on him. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I missed going to the other parts of the defensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't even look like the same guy that they paid or had that amazing year a few years ago. We lost to Randy Gregory because Jerry Jones is a stingy little. Um, you haven't, you don't have much else in that. I'm trying to think of who else is on that defensive line. I know Taco Charlton left. I can't even think. Yeah, I can't even think. They brought in Dante Fowler, I believe, which isn't a bad signing, but he's obviously not lived up to the hype that he had coming out of college. I can't even think of anyone else on the defensive line right now. Going on to the weak offensive line, Tyron Smith is like 38 now. Zach Martin's like 35, I think. The uh, the pick for of Tyler Smith in the first round is not good. I don't think he's pro ready. I think he has the chance to be really good, but I don't think he's pro ready right now, and that's what the Cowboys need to have the same kind of offensive line production that they had last year. Um, Going to let's see what else I got on here. So I got this. Bam, 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 bam. Let's go. Let's go with Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs is a good cornerback. He just in the so he's like overrated and underrated, I guess you could say. Like he's overhated and overrated, but also underrated. I'm not sure because while a lot of people don't value interceptions like they should. Like I know getting a lot of interceptions, but giving up a lot of yards and touchdowns and stuff like that, they kind of cancel each other out. But interceptions in this league is what a DB is meant to do. They're meant to not allow the wide receiver to catch the ball, and when they can, get a takeaway because they don't get the chance to take the ball away that much. Excuse me, sorry, my allergies are kicking my rear end. But Trayvon Diggs, if he can clean up his hip movement, that's what really is it gets in his way when the wide receiver when he bites on the inside route and then wide receiver goes out. His wide receivers or not his wide receivers, his hip movement is not where it should be, and if he can clean that up, he'll be one of the most prolific corners in the NFL. He just got to clean up that break when the wide receiver goes in, makes a stop cut, breaks out or breaks up. He's got to work on his hip movement to get that around. I know that sounds weird to say, but um, and then just the overall DB core as a whole, he brought in Malik Hooker, but that's really the only like notable addition that they made to my knowledge. I hate the Cowboys so much, so I'm having a hard time making this video. And then bad head coach is the last thing on my list. Just Mike McCarthy isn't it. He's just not it, especially for this Dallas team. A lot of people in the offseason were calling for him to be fired and replaced with Kellen Moore. I don't think Kellen Moore was the option either. I think Kellen Moore's offense got figured out a lot of last year towards the end, and so that kind of hindered the Dallas Cowboys towards the end of the season. But We'll have to see how he does this season. But let's go. Let's move out of their season predictions and let's move into the record prediction that I have them for. So I am going 0-2 to start the season against the Bucks and the Bengals. I think the Bucks are just better, especially going to be better week one. I know the Bucks lost a lot of people, but it's still a Tom Brady led team, so you can't always count them out. In week two, I have them losing to the Bengals, like I said. I just think they're more explosive on offense, and their defense is going to be better. Depends on also if Jesse Bates decides to come back. I think he will. I think he's too humble of a player, but I didn't really think he was going to do what he's doing now. And then I have him going 2-2 through week four, beating the Giants, beating the football team. I don't think that really needs to be explained. Giants are not going to be good. Evan Neal in his first preseason game did not look good. Danny Dimes did not look good. He did not look good. I'm so sad because I hated the pick when the Giants first made it, and then as I've seen him get so much hate, I've tried to kind of hoped for him to make a comeback and be good, but he's just not. He's just, I don't know what it is. He just can't make that leap. And then week four, it's the same thing with Carson Wentz. He went from an MVP candidate, got injured, and then has pretty much been overhated and traded around for no reason. Like, I understand why they traded him from Philly. They thought Jalen Hurts could be the guy. They weren't really feeling Wentz anymore. His relationship with Doug Peterson went rocky, and then they traded him, got rid of Doug Peterson, brought in a whole new thing. And then in Indy, he had a pretty nice statistical year, but wasn't a good leader. He didn't lead that team. And then through the season, the last two games of the season, and got himself sent out of Indy to Washington. Now we'll have to see how he does there. And then I have him splitting in week five and week six, losing to the Rams and beating the Eagles. The Rams, I think, are just a better overall team. That defense, I still think, is going to be prolific. And obviously, with Matt Stafford, Allen Robinson, and Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers, Tyler Higbee, a somewhat decent offensive line that pretty much stayed intact except for Andrew Whitworth last year. It's going to be good. And then I have him beating Philly. I have him splitting with Philly, I believe. Let's look down here. Yeah, I have him splitting with Philly. And for some reason, in most of the splits that I've had the away team winning. We'll just have to see what happens. It's not more of getting the games right; it's getting the records right. You know what I mean? Week seven, I have him beating the Detroit Lions. As sad as that makes me, I do think the Dallas Cowboys roster is better than the Lions at this moment, and it's a little bit older. You know what I mean? It's more experienced. And then week eight, I have them beating the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are going to be terrible, I think, in my opinion. I have them at 2-15. Week 10, I have them losing to the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, it's an A-Rod led team. My two least favorite teams in the NFL altogether. I hate the Green Bay Packers and I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Green Bay Packers because they're a division rival of the Lions, but I hate the Dallas Cowboys because of the 2014 playoff game the Lions had against them when they should have been pass interference. The Lions should have won that game. I know the Lions wouldn't have done anything anyway, but it should have been a Lions win, first playoff win since 1997. Excuse me. And then I have them beating the Minnesota Vikings, losing to the New York Giants, and you know what? I'm gonna actually change that. I am actually going to change that now. Now that I've seen the Giants play in action, I just don't think that can win. They can do that. And then week 13, I have losing to the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Colts are just going to be more stable towards this point in the season. I think the Cowboys season could get a little rocky at this point. Have them beating the other Texas team, the Houston Texans. Obviously, the Texans are not going to be that good this year. I have them beating Jacksonville Jaguars, the other half of the split of the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the loss to the Titans. I haven't beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars because I just don't think Trevor Lawrence and that team is going to take that step this year. I do think it's going to happen eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this year. In week 16, I have losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, a split. I think that this will be the not for the division, but this will make a huge impact on who wins the division. And then I have them winning the division now with changing that Giants game, and the Eagles being the 7th seed. It's a good thing I didn't make the Eagles video yet. So, and then week 18, I haven't been the football team. This game's gonna matter because now with one more win over the Giants in week 12, they're now winning the division. So, I'm alright with that change because I thought the Giants had a chance to split. I really did, but after seeing them play on was that Friday or Saturday, it just doesn't look good. It just don't look good. It's just there's nothing that I could say about that team right now that'll make me excited. So make sure to hit the like button down below. That's going to be it. 9-8. The number 4 seed now, as you can see right here. 5-1 in the division, 10-7 record. That doesn't seem too far off for me. So make sure to like button. Make sure to comment what you think I missed on and what you think I'm hit on. And then subscribe to see the channel more often in your YouTube. I was going to say For You page because I was thinking of TikTok, but we're not on TikTok. We're on YouTube. Peace.